Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Books, Advice, and Everything Nice. I'm Latoya Smith, and today I'm going to talk to you about query letters. Okay, so I've done hundreds, maybe even thousands at this point, workshops on the perfect pitch, aka the perfect query letter. So today I am going to give you the tools to write the perfect pitch. And just so you know, myself, first of all, I've been in this business almost 20 years. Yes, I know. I've been in this business almost 20 years. And as an acquisitions editor, obviously I was being pitched tons of projects. And now as an agent, I pitch the projects. So the material I'm giving you today is actually what I use when I pitch my clients, all right? So I hope that you find this video useful. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, of course. And if you have any questions about any of the information that I'm offering today, please leave it in the comments below. So let's get started. The first thing that I want you to understand is your written pitch is the end all be all. Once you get that written pitch down, you can actually use this to perfect your 30-second elevator pitch, to prepare for your verbal pitches if you're going to conferences. So once you nail down this query letter, I promise you, you'll be able to use it for a ton of other things, all right? So the first thing that you want to include in your query letter is your greeting, okay? Dear agent is lazy as hell. Please don't do that, okay? Dear art house literary, don't do that. I want to know that you have gone on our website, you have looked through all of our agents, and you have determined XYZ is the perfect person for your project, okay? So when you are addressing these letters, Dear Latoya is perfectly fine. Hi Latoya is perfectly fine. You know, even if you don't know their pronouns, addressing them by their first name, perfectly fine, okay? So, and I also need you guys to spell our names correctly. If you are misspelling my name, then 9 times out of 10, you're not the kind of person I want to work with, because that attention to detail is super important. If someone addressed you by the wrong name, you feel some type of way too, especially because in most cases, you probably had to type out our names in some form or shape. So if you're typing it out wrong, I need you to pay attention to those details, okay? So, Dear Latoya, okay. The next part of your letter is that one-liner that is gonna tell the agent or publisher everything they need to know about your book before they even read the rest of your letter, all right? So here's what you need in this next line. You need your genre, you need your word count, not page count, your word count. And I'll do another video on why those two things are very different and why you need to know them, okay? Your genre, your word count, and your comp titles, okay? Your comp titles are those books in the marketplace where your book is most like, okay? 2 to 3 comps, great. Even if one is super big, make sure you have at least 1 to 2 authors and or titles within the past 3 to 5 years whose audience your work captures, okay? Word count, genre, comp titles. By telling the publishing professional this information, they already know if they should keep reading or not. Because if your word count is not right, not for me. If the genre is not right, not for me. And if I have no clue of the comp titles that you've listed, or if you don't even know the comp titles, I'll stop reading. So it should read something like, Hi, Dear Latoya, I'm so excited to present to you my 50,000 word romantic suspense that will appeal to the audience of New York Times bestsellers A, B, and C. See that? Easy peasy. One quick line, and that tells me everything I need to know about your project as to whether or not I want to keep going. The next part of your letter is going to be your book description. This is not a synopsis, guys. This should not be pages long. This literally should be a short, concise paragraph. think of this as back cover copy. So as you're doing your research, your bestseller research, to even come up with these titles that you're going to be including in your query, look at those descriptions. Look at the physical back cover copy of these books. See how the authors and or publishers are describing the book, because really you just want to give them just enough to entice them to want to request your work. Okay, so it should be a short few paragraphs. Your query letter should be 1 page max, if that. Okay, so you want to make sure that your description does not run on too long, because that's what the synopsis is for. So you're going to give them that start to finish in your synopsis, but in your description, in your query letter, think of this as back cover copy. So your main focus is who your major players are, where they're at the start of the story, and whatever it is they're trying to get to. And most people will end this description on some climactical point. So what are the stakes, right? What is the big turning point that your character has to figure out? And obviously that will be discovered in the synopsis and or the manuscript. Okay, so again, that next piece of your letter, it should be the short book description, which should read very much like back cover copy. All right, the final portion of your query letter will be your bio. This should be in third person and should not be more than 25 to 50 words. The I am so wonderful and I enjoy spending time on the beach with my family, save that for your website, okay? The publisher doesn't care about that, no offense. What they want to know is why you're the person to write this book, why this is marketable, and maybe even where you live. So if you want to say, you know, she resides or he resides or they reside in California, this is their debut novel, that's enough. This is important because the publisher may want to know how they will promote you and where they can promote you. And if this particular city, you know, is big on whatever topic that you're talking about. So your bio should be short and sweet and in third person, guys. Short, sweet, and third person. And you want to focus on what makes you marketable. If you've got a backlist, you know, I am the author of 15 novels with a total of 30,000 copies sold. I'm so excited to present this proposal. Or I am a debut author. I am an avid reader of blah, blah, blah. I have a degree in blah, blah, blah. And this is my first novel that I'm so excited to share with you. Whatever makes you sound good, that's what you want to put at the end of this letter. Now, the final part of this letter is your closing. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you. And that's it, guys. So let's go through that again, all right? The first portion, you hear me? The first portion of your letter is your greeting. Make sure you are greeting these people by the correct name and that you spell it right and that there is a name on there, okay? The second portion, the second one-liner is describing the book. Genre, word count, 2 to 3 comps, titles and or authors. The next portion is your description. Think of it as back cover copy. This should not be pages long synopsis. You will have a chance to do that later, okay? Your back cover copy book description, focusing on your protagonist, where they are at the start of the story, what it is they're trying to do, and what the stakes are, aka what's your climactical point that's gonna make people say, oh my gosh, I can't really wait to read this and see what it's all about. And then that final is your closing. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. I look forward to hearing from you. Once you have this query letter nailed down, memorize it. This will be your 30-second pitch when you're going to conferences. When you bump into somebody in the grocery store and you tell them you're a writer, no one's gonna spend 15 minutes unless they're your friend or you're just that entertaining listening to you say, oh, my book is this, my book is that, and going through an entire synopsis. Now, of course, you're using this information to get to that point, right? To get the person to say, oh my gosh, this sounds great, tell me more. And at that point, feel free to talk about it for 10, 15 minutes, okay? But what you're practicing now is being able to pitch yourself and your project in 30 seconds or less, because most people don't have the bandwidth to listen for longer if they're not personally invested. Okay, so again, you want to make sure that you're using this time wisely and that you're getting out all the important information. Genre, word count, comp, what the book is, who you are. Genre, word count, comp, what the book is, who you are. Those are the 5 main elements that are going to go into this query letter. And again, you can use this for your verbal pitches, for your elevator pitches, for when you meet people in the street and you tell them you're a writer and they want to know what your book is about. That's how you describe it. Even if you leave out the word count, you definitely want to know how you fit in the marketplace. You definitely want to be able to describe your book in really quickly in just a few minutes, 30 seconds, etc. So there you are, guys. Query letters in 11 minutes? That's all you need to know. Again, thank you so much for your time and attention. Please leave comments, feedback, questions below. Share this with your friends. This is free information, guys. Free information that I'm giving you. Please share this with whoever needs to hear it. Take care of yourselves. Be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.